One of those things that I hear my photographer friends complain about all the time is finding consistent second shooters who match their style and can professionally represent their brand. And I know there's probably a ton of you out there who are working with different second shooters every weekend. A lot of times the breakdown with second shooters just comes from a lack of communication. So that frustration of coming back to edit and realizing that they were shooting almost the exact same angles as you during the day, we can eliminate that. So I'm going to kind of walk you through the template that I use now with my second shooters and share the 5 essential things that you should be telling yours before you work together on a wedding day. And even if you don't want to include this into a page on your website, it's still something that would be great to make into an email template that you can easily send to prep your second shooters before working together. So the first thing that you're going to want to communicate is your second shooter expectations. Oftentimes, you will find that your goal for the day is very different than your second shooters. So a lot of primary photographer, your goal for the day is to make the day as stress-free for your couples as possible. So that might mean that at certain points of the day, you don't even need your second shooter to be taking photographs. You really just need them as an extra set of hands. So for me, this looks like having my second shooter pin boutonnieres. I have them help wrangle up the family. I will also have them with assisting things like fluffing the veil or the train as I'm setting up for shots. All of those things might not necessarily mean that they're taking photos, but it does make the final product and final gallery for the couples even better. So just make sure whatever your expectations for the day are, you're communicating with your second shooter. The second thing that you need to share, this is obviously self-explanatory, but camera settings and expectations for their equipment. So I have my second shooters, they are providing their own equipment. Some other photographers might have equipment that their second shooters can use. And I'm also providing a memory card that they're going to shoot on. But I do require that my second shooters have 2 memory card slots because you always need a backup on wedding days just in case. Then all of the things that you don't think about in terms of matching your style, if you shoot a lot of close-up details and you want a lot of bokeh in the background, make sure you tell them that. What type of aperture should they stay at? I even put things in here like the ISO and what it should be for specific parts of the day. Obviously, as a natural light photographer, the sun is constantly changing. So you do want an experienced second shooter that understands camera setting. So the third thing that you're going to want to mention is etiquette. So this includes things like dress code and guest interact, but you want to just make sure that your second shooter is there to represent your business and they are not promoting their own services in any way. And any interactions that they have with guests, people can get a little wild at weddings. So if there ever is an issue, you just want to make sure that you are the point of contact for anything that represents your business. This next tip is something that I did not include when I had just an email template to share with my second shooters, but it's actually been super helpful to break down the entire wedding day and timeline process and the type of shots that I want my second shooter to be capturing during each part of the day. When it comes to things like wedding party portraits, I love to kind of divide and conquer during this time because a lot of huge wedding parties can take a long time. So what we'll do is I will photograph the entire group of just bridesmaids or just groomsmen. And at the same time, the second shooter will be photographing individual portraits of whoever I'm not working with. Other parts of the day during things like family photos, this is a time that my second shooter might not actually be taking any pictures at all because I'm not going to need multiple angles for this, but family. And I also have them doing things like just holding purses or holding drinks, which does not sound glamorous, but it makes a huge difference in the final product that I deliver to the couples. And then the final thing, which I kind of already scrolled over it, is sharing guidelines. These sharing guidelines are something that I hear other photographers complain about all the time. And if you are not clearly communicating how your second shooters are able to use their images, it can cause a lot of issues. So I hope this was helpful in prepping your second shooters to work with you on wedding days. I know that that's a lot of information, but if you just distill it down to those 5 main things, so style and expectations, camera settings, etiquette, posing details, and sharing guidelines, those are really going to help prep them in a way that you can work together seamlessly. So if a second shooter guide would be helpful for your business and you don't want to start from scratch, feel free to grab my template from the shop. You can use all of my wording. You'll just fill in your own camera setting and images and can have this completed for sending out to your second shooters within an hour. So if that's something you need for your busy spring wedding season coming up, definitely go take a look at it. Let me know if you guys have any questions. If you also struggle with second shooters, please tell me I'm not alone in the comments, and hope you guys have a great rest of your day.